A medevac plane crashes into a mountain in New Mexico, and the military's GPS jamming might be to blame. Plus, Mistral drops a tiny open source model that punches way above its weight. Civilian plane crash in New Mexico, tied to military GPS blocking. A twin-engine Beechcraft King Air medevac plane took off from Roswell, New Mexico, heading to Ruidoso to pick up a patient. The weather was clear, the flight should have been routine. But that night, the military was running a GPS jamming exercise at White Sands Missile Range, knocking out navigation for hundreds of miles. Forced to fall back on older tech they rarely used, the pilots got disoriented and slammed into a mountainside. No survivors. The FAA has known about these GPS interference zones for years. They even issue notices to pilots. But the system relies on pilots proactively checking those warnings, and in a fast-moving medevac scenario, that's easy to miss. This crash is now part of a growing pattern of civilian incidents tied to military GPS testing. This isn't just a tragic accident, it's a wake-up call. As GPS jamming becomes more common, both for military drills and in conflict zones, the gap between military capability and civilian safety is getting dangerous. It's raising hard questions about whether the military should be allowed to blind civilian navigation without better safeguards. Expect regulators to face pressure for stricter rules on military GPS jamming near civilian airspace. And if you're a pilot, this is a reminder to always have a backup plan and to check those NOTAMs. Mistral's Shieldstral, 3B open weights model for multimodal moderation. Mistral just dropped Shieldstral, a 3 billion parameter open weights model that handles both text and image safety. What's wild is that it performs as well as models 7 times its size. It does this by treating moderation like a question-answering task, so you can feed it plain language policies at runtime, and it adapts without retraining. Most guardrail models are either tiny and text-only or huge and impractical. Shieldstral runs on a single 16GB GPU, which makes it a real option for startups and smaller teams. It's released under Apache 2.0, so you can actually use it commercially without strings attached. This could change how content moderation gets done. Instead of relying on massive closed models, developers can now deploy a lightweight, customizable safety layer that actually understands your specific rules. That's a big deal for anyone building AI-powered products that need to keep things safe. If you're building with AI, this is worth a look. It's the kind of tool that could save you a ton of headaches, and it's free to try, so why not? That's all for today. If you want more tech news that actually matters, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's next.